Welcome back to the podcast.
Fucking got me good then, bro.
Some good energy before, some pre-hype,
Yeah, good.
the energy level. So question I got you straight away, bro.
That's right, bro.
How do you convince someone who's super active, say like a runner or a weightlifter, to just slow down and prioritize knee health without losing that passion sort of for what they're already doing?
I feel like, bro, it's ego. If you can stroke their ego just a little bit to help them understand how much better they're going to be able to weightlift, how much better they're going to be able to run, perform, look even, because essentially that's what all my stuff does. It just increases what you're able to do. You know what I mean? Like, so for example, a guy goes to train at, any of these new gyms that are out, all these group classes, and, he might be feeling that little bit of a niggle in the knees, but he still just keeps plowing through. I would say to that person, what if I could just get your knees to feel good, bro, so you can actually plow in a little bit more? So you're sort of stroking that ego a little bit, you just never know. If I can get you a little bit more range so you can get a little bit more depth in your squat, so you can get that little bit more jackness in your body, that's a good price to pay, bro.
Because it's sort of like a limiting factor, knee pain. Like straight away, you're not going to do a good workout if your knees are fucking cranking. You're probably the best example of that, right?
Best example, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what if you could just get that little bit more extra out of your body? What if you could run that extra kilometer? What if you could just slow down for a little bit, try this, do it for 20 to 30 minutes a day on top of what you're doing already? Won't overwhelm yourself too much. It'll be nice, simple and smooth, and then go and attack what you're normally doing.
What are some of the knee wrecker exercises that are going on in classes, do you reckon?
Jumping. Because a lot of people don't know how to land, bro, realistically. And, as we all know, when you're watching, all these high performers, they just know how to fucking land properly, and the guys that don't know how to land properly are the ones that normally injure themselves. I look at myself as a perfect example, bro. I did not know how to step properly. And then you add weight to that, that's when knee problems happen.
Yep.
But when in the training realm, it's just they don't know how to land, they don't know how to jump properly. They're doing these classes, they're under fatigue, and then they'll go and do a box jump. And, bro, I've seen that many people fuck up their knees doing box jumps in an F45 class.
Is it the landing, right?
Landing or jumping on, bro.
Yeah.
There's you don't realise people don't know how to fucking jump, bro. They're getting bro, you whack out on the clock and everyone's moving around you, and old mate hasn't jumped in fucking 20 years and then goes to jump for the first time in 20 years, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, my knee's sore. And then me as a coach looking at that, I'm like, fuck, that's why. And yeah, it's just the awareness. But yeah, practice, bro. Why wouldn't you just go away from it, learn about your body a little bit more, and then you can go and get the most out of your class?
Yeah, 100%.
You, bro?
Yep.
All right. What's the biggest mobility myth you hear from our 35 to 45-year-old clients who are into fitness, and how do you debunk it?
Oh, the big one is that you have to do real long sessions to get flexible. And I think that comes back to that class format. So if you have to go do a stretch class or something, they usually go for 45 minutes, say yoga. I chuck Pilates in there as well. And then if you're going to do a 45-minute stretch class, yoga, Pilates, then how are you going to fit in all your other training?
Yeah.
So a big thing that I started with was, because I come from an athlete background, and I just can't do mobility for longer than 15 minutes myself. So how is everyone else? And I love training. So how's the normal guy who's got, say he's doing 8 to 12 hour days, comes home, he's got a family, he's got to train as well, do his weights, he might like doing his weights. So how can you fit in another stretch session on top of all that? So that 10 to 15 minutes works well. Going hard and fast into a day, up the intensity on the stretches. And I always find people are like, oh, really? Is that all I need? I think I need to go to an in-person trainer to go get it done. I'm saying first you gonna pay $100, $120. You're gonna have to go for an hour. You got to drive there. It might take 15 minutes. You got to drive home. You got to shower and all that. Whereas you can just do this either in your added on to your hour workout or 45-minute workout. And then I think that just keeps it nice and time efficient as well. And you can still get the same results.
Yeah, because you look at it, bro. From what I've heard and what I've experienced with you, 15, 20 minutes, that's not much time. You know what I mean? Like that over a span of a week, it's like an hour and a half.
Yep.
Maybe 2 hours. And that 2 hours to get the results that I've seen a lot of your clients have, bro, fuck, it's well worth it. You know what I mean? And that's where I feel like all the results photos and the form checks come in play too. Because you might think that you're not doing much, but then you get a result photo and you're like, oh, fuck, this 15, 20 minutes actually works.
Yep.
Right? So, that's cool, bro.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then one of the other myths is probably like that age kills your flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
So as you get older, you just lose.
Too old.
Yeah, you're just too old. There's no chance I can improve my mobility or flexibility. That's a big one at the moment. But, we've debunked it, I guess. Like just sort of seeing clients, I don't know, I think our oldest guy is 60 years old in their 60s that even though my market's like 25 to 45, if anyone like older wants to jump in, I just say, as long as you do the work, like you can improve.
And it's more about being in the game too, bro? Like people don't realize how important it is just to stay playing the game of mobility, because at the end of the day, like it just makes you feel good, right? And realistically, everyone wants to look good and feel good, bro. And what's 15 to 20 minutes a day on top of everything that you're doing just to feel good? And then, like, if you're actually going intense enough or, like, you're progressing like the programs do, and then you're getting those results and you're reverse aging, which is what we always talk about. Like, you're getting to that age 65 and you're thinking in your head, fuck, my body feels like a 45-year-old. That's a fucking good price to pay.
Yeah, 100%. And then, like, it's not trying to get like super flexible. Like we're not after middle splits and shit like that. Like that takes years. We just want a little bit of improvement on your hips, a little bit improvement on the shoulders, the groins, glutes as well. Just all that little stuff. It's not about trying to be like a super flexible person. It's just improving from where you are to where sort of you want to be.
Western society, we're just all sitting all day, tight as fucking hips.
Yeah.
Like I look at the Asians are like the Asians, bro. They're like crazy. They're always squatting all day. And then like you look at them and you're like, fuck, no wonder why these guys live to 100 years old, bro. Because they're doing that shit as a lifestyle. And then, fuck, we're all dying at 70 to 80 years old.
100%, bro. Next
bro.
question.
Yep.
What's one knee exercise or habit you wish every client in this age group that you work with would adopt to avoid trouble down the road?
Fuck, you always say it, bro. Hip flexor stretch on the wall or the couch stretch.
Yep.
Straight up. Like, on top of the stuff that I've learned over the years, like the reverse walking, all that sort of shit, I would remove all of that and just give that person, do this for the rest of your fucking life. You know what I mean? And it works.
Yeah.
You free up the hip and the quad, especially for the knee just moves better. And like, I don't know why people, I do know why people don't want to do it, because it's low hanging fruit, bro. Everyone wants to go do the hard shit. No one wants to do the basic stuff. Yeah. And for me, once I could hit that standard of getting my shoulders to the wall and holding it quite comfortably, the knees just feel hectic.
Yeah, and sort of, I think, since it's called like a hip flexor stretch or couch stretch for the hips, you don't realize that your knee's flexing in that position as well. So that if you see your knee like that and it closes like that in that hip flexor stretch, and that's what you need a knee to do. It needs to be able to flex in that position. So I think that's a big one, especially when your knees are sore or you're coming from a surgery, right? Your knee can't bend like it used to.
Yeah.
Just seizes up.
And that's a good point, bro. Like when you do have surgery, even me from now, from when I did the injury last year, you saw me, bro. I couldn't fucking bend it past fucking 120 degrees. Yep. It was just stuck. But when you do it every day and you make it like habitual as fuck and you take photos every day, which is what I haven't been doing, photos, but I have been taking like photos every couple of weeks, you just see the incremental change and then you feel the incremental change too. And like, you don't need to do all this fancy shit, bro. Well, I sent this video to you of OBJ, that fucking NFL player, and he was doing this stuff with this guy. And then you watched it, bro. It was the fucking funniest reply I've ever had from you. You're just like, just shut the fuck up and do the couch stretch, bro. Straight up, bro.
Come on, OBJ.
Just do the couch stretch,
bro. Just jam your knee in the wall and push hard.
Cuz, straight the fuck out. If you do that, man, it'll change your life, not just your knees.
Yeah, that's like some people are coming to me and saying, so they have trouble going on the wall with their ankles and hips, and they say, is there something else I can warm up to go? And I go, nah, just pump it into it. All that warm up is just going to waste time, and just doing that stretch will get you there.
Yeah.
Don't need to be on the ground kneeling. I used to say to clients, yeah, you can kneel on the ground with the ankles just to think, but nah, I changed my mind.
Bang for buck.
Yeah, just go hard and just suffer through that pain.
Yeah, just do it all the time, bro, and make it normal. Like, let's be honest, bro. Everyone sits in front of the TV for maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours a day with your family or by yourself. Just steal 2 minutes of that time, bro, or 4 minutes of that time, and just jam both legs. Doesn't even have to be that long, right? It just not enough for the brain to tick over and for the body to feel it. And then you do that over years, cuz you just feel like a different human.
And then like pain tolerance. Like people need to up their pain
Stop being
tolerance.
a soft cunt, bro.
Yeah, we chase comfort so much that when you do get to something hard, you're always like, oh, is there something easier that I can do to, hey, how about you just harden up and just get through that pain? Like it's a good thing too. I like enjoy a bit of tough work and a bit of pain than just pushing through that and then getting a result from that as well.
Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? Like, step 1, bite down on a towel. Step 2, put on some heavy metal, some heavy rap. And then step 3, fucking go hard and just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And then when it releases, as we both know, bro, there's a lot of clients that come to us after they've done it for 4 to 6 weeks. And it's like you see and feel through the messages the change that they have. It's like, mate, fuck, the best thing I've ever done. I was like, I fucking told you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good, bro. It's good to know that too.
What are we up to?
What are you up to, bro?
I think you hit me.
Hit you with the, okay. How do you adopt mobility coaching for clients who are super fit but starting to feel the wear and tear of their 30s and 40s?
It's probably sort of similar to your first question of how long do they want to train for? Like, do they want to keep training and having that longevity in their body? I think in your 30s and 40s, it's a good time to set some training routine so you can have that longevity factor for your life. And then just being able to fit things in properly. I feel like people go too hard running, they go too hard lifting weights, they pick up injuries, and then sort of just managing that a little bit better.
I got a question on top of that, bro. So how would you, let's say someone is that avatar where they're going to classes. Like, how would you structure it, putting your mobility into those classes or putting your mobility into your routine, really?
Yeah, I just, simple as just do the big passive stretch that takes a little bit of a while. Just hip flexor stretch or your pancake or your frog. Do that before class.
Yep.
And then do 2 or 3 stretches after class, and that breaks it up. You can still get that 10 to 15 minutes of mobility in. Yeah,
and that's cool. And like, even like having, because I used to love coaching at the gym, and you'd get those sort of like leaders from the class. Like, I wouldn't program any mobility or stretching for some sessions, but you get the leaders in the class, they run pretty much some mobility sessions too.
Yeah.
So they'd come in early and everyone would watch, and then they'd go, oh fuck, come and jump in this little stretch. Then we get into the class, and then they finish off with like a recovery stretch, like what you're saying as well, which is another important fact too. Like, do you want to be a leader at their age? 30s to 40s, you are a bit older, and if you are going to those gyms or those classes, so it's important to be that as well, and show these younger guys how to look after themselves. And
then just showing proof that it actually works if you stick at it. So past clients' photos, a guy in their 60s that has done, who can touch their toes now, who couldn't, just showing that evidence, and they're like, oh, okay, I can't make an excuse about I'm too old or I do too much. I've got probably like hundreds of examples where I can prove sort of people wrong now if you just send them a little clip or something. Yeah. And it's just good to have those examples, so it sort of suffocates their excuses.
Yeah. Most people make up excuses anyway, bro.
I got ya.
Yep.
How do you balance strengthening the knee versus protecting it, especially for clients who push their limits in the gym?
How do you balance it?
Sort of around like that smart volume, accessories, tying in things.
Yeah, and even just understanding what the standards are too, bro. You know what I mean? Like, understanding what your strength standards are that you're working towards is a big key factor. And then what are you doing to work towards those standards, and how does the accessory work or the extras that you do on top help that? You know what I mean? That's how I would sort of attack things from a balanced point of view. But then understanding too that, like we just spoke about before, bro. Understanding that sometimes the strength can be limited because of the range that you can't get.
Yeah.
That's the balance for me. You know what I mean? If you can't get your shoulders back to the wall for a hip flexor stretch, then how are you going to get that range when you're doing a split squat? You know what I mean? And understanding that this helps this, and in terms of what we just spoke about before as well, the strength there helps that as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like getting those two together, work together, and then when you start working towards a standard, you know, can I do 10 reps with 50% of my body weight on my back, on my shoulders? Then like it just sort of works together. And then you slowly just keep building on those standards. You know, you might have a standard set that's 50% with weight on your shoulder doing a split squat. Doesn't mean you can't go further than that, bro. And then you're always pushing your needle. And then you're like, once you start hitting further than those standards, then you're starting getting towards like a good performer. And that's ultimately what everyone's trying to reach towards, especially when it comes to the knees.
And you can sometimes see results through smoother reps, right?
Yeah,
like,
bro.
And sort of things that you can't measure where, say you're doing the split squat, for example, you might get better reps at that same weight instead of not going up in reps. You could be on the hip flexor stretch on the wall where you can get to that position, but can you hold it for the 2 minutes? And how comfortable are you in that position? Those are little things that instead of just looking for progress over time of moving closer to the wall or adding weight, smoother reps, and just being able to manage that position as well is a big one that I think people miss out on thinking about.
And that brings us back to the point that we made before. Like that's why form checks are so important. It's why result photos are so important. You know, you might be able to hit a standard on the wall, but it's still just a photo too. You know what I mean? Like, can you do that with a coffee in your fucking hands and holding it for 2 minutes? And then, like you said, like just the position of it. Do you look comfortable when you're doing them? And like that's all the progress, that's the stuff that you need to shoot to understand the progress over time.
Well,
next one, bro.
Yep.
How do you get a client who's stiff as a board to actually enjoy working on their mobility instead of dreading it?
Gamify it. So showing them certain standards that they can hit, and sort of we use like emoji type format for that. So if you hit a certain standard in a hip flexor or touch toes, then you get like the little knee emoji next to your name. It's like a little badge. I think having those standards helps gamify that so people know to reach for something, because mobility can just be a fucking shitload of just random exercises that is called hip mobility, but are you actually improving? So just putting a measure towards that, that's a big one. And then just getting them quick wins. Yeah, result photos.
Yeah, they're the best ones, bro?
Yeah.
Just getting results of them as quick as they can, and just gamifying it. It's fucking make it more fun, and the more fun it is, bro, the more you want to do the thing. So yeah, it's a good point,
because you can see in different exercises, if you can get your leg this high, that means your pancake will get this low.
Yeah.
If your elephant walk looks like this, then your touch toes is going to look like that. So everything sort of marries up, and there's sort of a method to the madness.
There's a system to the things.
Yeah, it's not just chucking fucking random exercises from social media at people to just get 10 to 15 minutes working. You know, we want them to improve, which is the main thing.
Yeah, mad.
What do you got? What have I got you? I think our last question.
Last question, bro.
I think it's for both of us.
Yep.
So what's one workout trend you've seen our clients obsess over that secretly drives you nuts for their knees or mobility?
High rocks. I'm going to say it, bro.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people that do high rocks, don't get me wrong, I get it. It's fun, it's drivey and shit. But I can visually see some of the guys that are doing high rocks, sorry guys, that they're in pain while they're doing these things. Like, nah, it's a big no-no for me. I get it. Like, if you're going to play footy or rugby league where you get paid to get it done, but bro, you're paying for this thing and you're going and doing something because everyone's doing it. For me, it's like, nah, bro, just dial back, do your program, look after yourself, get your weight down, feel absolutely fantastic, and then go do high rocks.
Yeah, I think for our guys over 100 kilos, a lot of these competitions or styles don't suit us. man, our calves and our Achilles are taking a hammering on these runs. The run clubs, especially. I seen guy talk about it who was over 100 kilos, but he was like running all the time, talking about like you don't see the calf injuries or the Achilles tendonitis or the sore knees, because if you look at the top marathon runners, what are they, 40, 50 kilos? And how thin their bodies look. And then you have the bigger guys who try and run, like that's a lot of load going through your lower body. So you just got to be mindful of those things. So trying to keep up with split run times and all that. Just remember you're 100 plus kilos.
Yeah, that's all it is, bro. You know, and like you gotta calm down, bro. Calm down. Just chill out for a bit.
Yep.
And all we're saying is, don't go so fucking hard. Like pull back on the gas. You know, if you're with me, look after yourself and your weight first. Get that fucking thing down. You know, I'm the perfect example. I'm down 26 kilos, bro. And like I can feel like, oh shit, I reckon I could start running soon. Nah, cuz. Just keep going and going and going. And then when you get to a point where you do feel good, then slowly test your shit out. You don't go ham sandwich into a marathon at 110 kilos. Hey, bro.
Hard.
Yeah.
Shot, bro.
Shakazi.